Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? When I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions. How do I record an episode? How do I get my show into all the apps people like to listen to? How do I make money from my podcast? The answer to every one of these questions is really simple. Anchor. Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free. And it's ridiculously easy to use. And now Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. I love using Anchor because if you're anything like me and you're not a techie, it makes it super easy. And you can get your podcast on as many platforms as you choose to. So if you always wanted to start a podcast, make money doing it. Go to anchor.fm/start to join me and the diverse group of community of podcasters already using Anchor. That's anchor.fm/start. I can't wait to hear your podcast. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Millennials Anonymous podcast. Yes, my name is Lise and I'm a millennial, so let's get this party started right and quickly. So let me give a big shout out, okay? We had brunched. I told you that I'd be getting lazy and I'd be recording it on the same day now. So I record brunching and millennials on the exact same day, and I want to give a big shout out to everybody over there. Of course, E Digger, the Guru, Ashley, for being amazing host, and we always have a good time, so I want to give a big shout out to them. But we had a guest today and I was so excited. I'm so excited to have a guest on today, which was Head Crack from Dish Nation and from The Morning Hustle. He is just like, when I tell you, when I reached out to him, like I thought he was just like a nice, genuine, nice person. But you know, sometimes, especially when you get in, I'm not in the industry, I'm on outside, but people sometimes are not all they seem. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people are not the same. And he is just the same. He's just a genuinely very nice human being. And it is so refreshing to see. And I think that's what it was. I think because Ashley kept saying like your energy, your vibe, like he is very hype. But I think it's just his vibe. Like he's just this nice, genuine guy. And I think you're less problematic and you can keep that vibe when you're just authentically you. And that's what it was. Like he's just authentically him. And I love his energy and I love him. So make sure that you support his music. So he has music with the Bodega Brothers coming out, and he said about 30 days, and he has a new single coming out. So make sure you support him. I'm really rocking with Cali right now. That is, it's an awesome song. It makes you very mellow, and he has a story behind it. So if you don't know the story behind it, make sure you go tune into Brunching on all major podcasting platforms, and you can watch it on Facebook or YouTube if you want. Whatever. I'm not judging you. Do whatever you need. You know what I mean? Like you do you. You do you. I'll do me. But he's genuinely just that nice. So I want to give a big shout out to Head Crack as well. But let's get into these top 10 trending topics of the week. Alright, so here we go. Top 10 trending topics of the week. But before I go, I'm a little upset because I brought a canister. I know this is a side. You know, I'm a sidebar to a sidebar kind of girl. And I have this canister of water, and it is supposed to be like this insulated canister where it keeps stuff cold. And it's cold, but I put ice in it because I like to chew ice. I'm an ice chewer. But I like my ice soft, so I like it to sit for a minute. And all my freaking ice is melted. And I'm I got it from Walmart. But I expected more from Walmart. I know I only paid $5 for it, but I expected more from you. I'm just saying. But let me get into these top trending topics. I don't know what I just said. I have not been drinking. Top 10 trending topics of the week. So Meg and Beyonce did drop. They did drop a banger. I told you that it was coming. It was rumors that it was coming, and it had came. So they completed the Project Savage remix. And I told you, when we talked about this on Brunch, and I talked about it last week on Millennials, I love my membership. I got my bronze membership. It ain't gone up, but it ain't gone down. And y'all not gonna take it from me. You listen to me, Beehive. I know Ashley said I must about to get it revoked. No, I am not. I'm not. I've been rocking with Beyonce since day one. You hear me? When she was in Destiny's Child and she was the leader before they said she was the leader. I remember that interview when she was coughing when Kelly said that we was the leaders and she was like, like I caught that shade. Okay. I had caught that shade. I've been rocking with her since she was in Destiny's Child. Okay. So I got my Beehive membership. I done brought Ivy Park before y'all was buying the Ivy Park when it looked like it could be Popeyes related. Like I was buying Ivy Park when it came out. I've bought House of Darion. I've been rocking with Beyonce since Beyonce had braids. And back in the day, if you old enough, you know she always was rocking the braids back in the day. I've been since then. You know what I mean? She was in the Case video. I was rocking with her. But what I can't rock with is Beyonce rapping. Now, listen, I'm not saying that I'm hating on the song. I'm not saying that the song is not going to be a hit. The song is already a hit. And with Beyonce jumping on it, the song is going to be even more of a hit. It's going to be a bona fide chicken fried. Like, it's going to be all that and more. You know what I mean? Like, this song is going to go to the distance. But rapping Beyonce is not my favorite. But speaking of women that is just killing things in the game, the next verses is actually going to be Erica and Jill Scott. So Erica and Jill Scott are going to be going at it, and I'm excited about it. And I was looking at both of their catalogs because at first I had given, because a lot of people was asking Swiss Beats and Timbaland, like, when are we going to get some women? Like, all of these battles have been men are not the only people out here blazing it. And I'm also a little bit confused, like, why a woman can't go up against a dude? Like, music is music, right? Like, it don't need to be just vagina for vagina. Like, we can get some of these women out here up against men. I think Missy Elliott has a strong enough catalog of songs she's produced that she could go up against a guy. I don't know who yet. Don't ask me that. But Missy Misdemeanor Elliott could. But in this particular battle, I had Jill winning, right? Because the reason why I had Jill winning is because I didn't go and look at Erica's full catalog. Once you look at Erica's full catalog, come on, man. Like this. And I love Jill. When she sang He Loves Me in E flat, and can't nobody do that. Jill Scott, her mic game, fellatio skills is on point. She could teach a class, but I just feel like in this right here, nigga, this is Erica. Like, Erica got this. Miss Badu is going to get this. Floral scented JJ and all. She got this. This is hers. Like, you can't go up against On and Tyrone and the Ode to Hip Hop. Like, you can't do that. So but I can't wait to see it because it's gonna be so mellow. We're gonna have so many people in there smelling like cocoa butter and shea butter babies in there. Oh, I can't wait, baby. And Javante Davis gets a Corvette after he told Moneybagg Yo that it was middle class according to Hip Hop DX. So I had seen this post. I think I saw it on the Shade Room. I think that's where I originally saw him say that, oh, that's middle class. And I'm like, dude, Javante, what? You listen. And I get that you a boxer and everything, right? And you from Baltimore. I'm from Baltimore. I can understand that. I can understand that. But you had money for like 5 minutes. Like, why are you talking down on somebody's car, first of all? And second of all, how do you not know that? Because you've been poor, though. Like, I don't understand. Like, you know ain't nobody in no middle class driving no goddamn Corvettes. You know that. And then he gonna go around and he gonna flip that and he gonna go get himself a Corvette. That's foul, yo. That's foul. That reminds me of this girl that I used to go to school with when we was back in middle school. I ain't gonna say her name, but she know who she is. And I had wore this jumpsuit, like this sweatsuit, but back in the day they wasn't like cotton. It was like whatever that material is, that where you walk and it sound like you crunching paper. I had that on, right? And so, cause it was, listen, it was popping at the time, okay? Them types of little sweatsuits that they had, you know what I mean? These steam suits, I call them steam suits cause you was surely steaming in that some bunch. So them steam suits Back then they was popping, and I wore it, and she teased the shit out of me for wearing that steam suit. She was like, you know, why you got on that steam suit? Look, she got on that fucking steam suit, the steam. And then after she had everybody teasing me about my goddamn steam suit, she came in the next day, not a week later, not 5 weeks later. She was talking about, because it was cheap. I think I got it from Gallo or whatever. And if you don't know what that store is, it was like Rainbow but cheaper back in the day. And I had came in, and she came in there not a week later, not a month later, the next day with that same steam suit, same color and everything, and just she wore it like she was just the shit. And I'm like, I don't like motherfuckers like that. And that is what Javante Davis did. That was foul. You can't be doing that and saying that. And a Corvette is a nice ass car, okay? That shit costs like 80,000. It's a nice ass car. We're not gonna sit there and do that to people. And that is not middle class. That's some rich folk shit. All right, we not gonna sit there and pretend. And there ain't nothing wrong with middle class. I'm in the middle. I'm shit. Oh no, maybe I'm working class. I'm probably working class like a motherfucker. But it is what it is. Like, I don't know what the credentials are. Somebody tell me what the credentials are. But nonetheless, Javante, leave that alone. And Atlanta opens up for people. If the nail salons is open, barbershops is open. And they're showing these pictures of people sitting and putting their hands behind plastic. So it looks like they didn't took their hands to the ICU unit to get their nails done. Their nails did. Listen, if I gotta sit in ICU medical quarantine to get my nails did, probably ain't worth it. And then somebody gets shot. They open up Atlanta, and I think that somebody got shot outside, and I'm thinking, listen, this is what y'all was running outside to do this. Like, y'all was complaining about this. Y'all wasn't complaining about going back to work. Y'all wasn't complaining about none of that. You was complaining that you couldn't go shop in goddamn Rainbow or Foot Locker so you can get shoes and go to the club so people can shoot at y'all as y'all leaving. Like, this shit just don't make sense. Like, stay y'all ass in the house. Stay y'all asses in the house. I'm just saying. And speaking of staying in the house, people pile in state houses across the country. In particular, Michigan people decided that they was going to go up there, and it looked like they formed a goddamn militia. Okay, they was up there with AK-47s and other guns. Listen, I don't like it. I don't like it at all, because if they was black, they would have shot them on sight. Like, it is only constitutional rights if it's a white man with a gun. If it's a black man with a gun, it's a goddamn, he's a felon, he's a criminal, it's all of that other stuff. Or black person with a gun. I don't want to hear that shit. Like, I want y'all to keep that same energy. I need y'all to keep that same energy when y'all be talking about us protesting in the street. You calling the kids, they gang members and thugs and all that. You better use them same terms when you talking about these people, man. Because the thing that I don't understand is that somebody did that somewhere else in one of these rallies, and the person who formed the rally ended up getting coronavirus. Like, is it really worth it? And speaking about getting out of hand, the White House coronavirus response team says vaccine will be ready in 2021 as states are seeing more surges in numbers of people getting coronavirus because y'all won't stay y'all stupid asses in the house. Now, I don't know what to say about this. It kind of saddens me because seems like school not going back till it's going to be about 2021 by the time school goes back, and it's just that makes me sad. So I'm gonna move on. And Diddy says the black vote, it's not for free. This vote not for free. Now, I get you, Diddy. Like, I get the premise of what you're saying, but we talked about this on brunching, and Ashley, she mentioned what I've mentioned in the past, is that you gotta have to have a goal, an outcome, a plan. So what is your goal or outcome? What is the goal or outcome that you're looking for? What is the plan? Let's say people stay home and they don't vote for Joe Biden. So if Trump gets reelected, what is your plan for that? Let's come up with a solid strategy or a plan. No, you shouldn't just be voting for people just to vote for them. But at the same time, y'all need to stop listening to these celebrities, because a lot of the times their interests are not the same as your interests. You need to be voting for people based on your own research that you've done on these politicians. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. You need to do your own research. Stop listening to these celebrities and thinking they know. I've heard too many people say that Cardi B should be running for president. No, she shouldn't. Nope. We're not doing that. Just because somebody said or repeated something that they heard don't necessarily mean that they've done the research. Okay, so you can't rely on somebody else. So stop listening to celebrities as if they're going to give you the opinions about what's best for your life. Because they don't know. They can only go on what's best for their life. That's all I'm saying. Like, so I get what you're saying, Diddy. You shouldn't just be voting for people because they're a Democrat. You shouldn't just be voting for people because they're a Republican. But you should, if you're going to be out there and you want to be like the leader, you got to have some strategy. You just can't be throwing out words without a strategy. So let's strategize. And then the drama with Isaiah Thomas and Michael Jordan continues. So they are still going at it. They have not dropped this beef at all. If you go watch The Last Dance, Jordan pretty much called him an asshole, and Isaiah Thomas didn't like that at all. And Hillary Clinton finally endorses Joe Biden after it's been about a month or so since he was the only candidate. So that's a long time before she decided she was going to endorse him. So I don't know what has been going on with that. And finally, Mike Tyson with a video that is going around the interwebs of him boxing again at 53. And he's still the baddest man on the motherfucking planet. And we all had felt it when his sparring partner was going with him, and we were like, oh my god, like I was afraid for him. Like I felt like he was trembling, and I could feel it. Like I could feel the hits, like even from not being there, you could feel it, like even though you're not necessarily there, I could feel the I was like, woo, I feel your pain. For a minute there, I thought he almost hit him, and I could see he went, oh, wait a minute, wait, let's wait a minute, I gotta get my thoughts together, because I think his life did flash before him. His life, or maybe he might have shitted on himself, because I would have too. Like that was a lot, and her hand was really close to the face, like it was like, what? So this has been your top 10 trending topics of the week. Let's get into the topics of the day. Alright, so we talked a little bit about the Savage remix with Meg Thee Stallion and Beyonce. And so we as on the podcast Brunchin', I think the consensus is that it's a banger. But I think a lot of people weren't necessarily completely sold on it. But the thing that we're going to talk about today was Nicki Minaj taking a shot at Beyonce? So I was listening to the blogs, and on the blogs they said that at the end, so Nicki Minaj did a remix of Say So with Doja Cat. And which is funny to me, because I thought that they were like, not necessarily Doja was at odds with Nicki, but I know Nicki fans didn't really care for Doja because she was on Twitter, and I think somebody drew a picture of Nicki, Meg, and Doja, and one of the guys commented on it and said, I would like to see Doja in the middle, and the Nicki stands was like, we ain't having it, and that was disrespectful and all that other stuff. And so they just was going at him, and Doja came in and she was like, don't worry about them, they like they internet bullies or whatever, and they just went at her. And from that moment on, Nicki fans or Nicki stans believed that Doja didn't like Nicki, and then it was a thing. So I'm kind of shocked that they were working together anyway. Like, so this is kind of, I think this is Nicki's way of telling her fans, back off of Doja, we don't got no problems, I don't want no problems, I think that's what this was. But Nicki, because originally, according to the blog, she had a totally different verse on Say So than she released on the actual song. And so a lot of people are starting to speculate. Some people thought she was talking about Wendy Williams, but she has since debunked that. And she said, I'm not talking about Wendy Williams on this album. And they were just they were thinking maybe it's Cardi, but because of what she said, they don't think it's Cardi. So at the end of the song or the verse, she did it at the end, Nicki Minaj actually says this.
While you talking about who body fake, with no fillers in your face, you just full of hate. That real ass ain't keep your nigga home. Now you looking silly, that's why I'm
So she's talking about fillers in somebody's face and not keeping their man home. So what people are thinking is that this is a shot to the queen. And by queen, I mean Queen Bey. They think this is a direct shot to Beyonce because Beyonce came out with the song with Meg. And in the song, Beyonce discussed if you want to see some real ass. And a lot of people are thinking that this is a response to it and that this is kind of like Nicki's way of, you know, drumming up this controversy around this. Maybe it's a PR stunt. I will say that because some people are saying, well, I don't think Nicki would be bold enough to go after the queen. And I don't think a lot of people would, because people remember the stuff that happened with Carrie Hilson and stuff like that. Like the queen, and I know they both call themselves the queen, but when I say queen, because, you know, I respect Nicki, I love Nicki's music, but when I say queen, I mean Queen Bey, because I've been a fan of Beyonce longer. So I just would refer to her as Queen Bey. So when like Beyonce has clout in this game. Like she's been around. She's a mammoth. She is a titan. You cannot go up against Beyonce in music. That is just not what you do. You can't do it. Like she is the epitome of our superstar. Like back in the day, in the 80s and 90s, we had a lot of superstars that emerged. You know, you have Michael Jackson. You know, and by superstars, I mean people with staying power. Like they will be around for years and years and years. Like no matter if they stop making music, they will still be relevant. So we're talking about our MJs, we're talking about our Princes, we're talking about our Whitneys. Those are the types of people that have staying power, regardless. And some of them have been passed away, rest in peace to all of them, for years, and they're still relevant. We don't really have that now. We don't really have that in our genre. So like we have Beyonce and we have, I think the next person that's probably coming up on this relevancy train is Drake. Like, cause Drake is, everything he puts out is fire. Like he has not made a misstep yet when it comes to releasing this music. So he had a couple of little slip up. He had a little slip. But other than that, like when it comes to the music, he ain't slipped up yet. Like he always wear that musical rubber tight. Like he don't slip when it comes to the music. But I will say that I don't know if Nicki is scared of Beyonce. Like I think people, for them to say that Nicki is scared of Beyonce is silly. I don't think she is. To me, it makes a lot of sense that this shot came directly to Beyonce. Like, from a PR stunt, this is fucking genius. If this is Nicki doing this, and because people are talking about it now. Like, in the giantness that Savage is becoming, because it got fucking damn listen, Meg, I like you. I think you real authentic. I like you a lot. You know what I mean? I rocks with you. I got most of your songs on my playlist. But I'm tired of it. Like, and it's not you, Meg. You didn't do it. It was all the goddamn people on TikTok doing it. Like, everybody got to do the dance. And now we got to get another dance to the dance. And it's just like, I'm tired. But this song is already a hit. And it's already on TikTok. And it's already in heavy rotation. So this song is going to be a giant. And I don't know if Doja Cat's remix was going to do the same numbers, streaming wise, that Beyonce's song or Meg Thee Stallion song Savage was gonna do. I don't think so. And I think that this was genius, because now people are going, what are people doing? You listen to Savage remix and now you go listen to Doja Cat Say So I can figure out exactly what did Nicki Minaj say. And no, she was like, I'm gonna get this full damn stream because you gonna listen to this whole goddamn song so you can hear it at the end. So I think that this was a fucking PR genius. This is genius. And I'm not saying that she's taking a direct shot at Beyonce, because I don't think she has beef with Beyonce or anything like that. I think this is just her way of getting some streams. I think this is her way of being a PR genius. This was smart. This was smart. If you don't see that this was smart, I don't think you know marketing. this was smart. And so, yes, I do think this was a direct response to what Beyonce said. Now, if this is a direct hit so that she's getting that marketing or PR, and she didn't call the queen to do that, do I think Beyonce's probably upset about it? Probably. But I don't think she could really prove that she's talking to her. Because if Beyonce comes out in response to this, she's owning the fact that she couldn't keep her man home. So I don't see Beyonce responding to this shit at all. Like, there's not going to be there's not going to be a battle, a chain of songs that come out. First of all, like I said, this is why I don't like rapping Beyonce. Because now Beyonce she's in a rap battle with a rapper. And Nicki is a rapper. You know what I mean? Like, Nicki is a rapper's rapper. Like, she on mixtapes and everything. Like, this not good, B. That's why we can't have you rapping. You sing, you don't rap. We can't have you in rap squabbles. I don't care how great Jay-Z's pen is. We can't have you in rap squabbles if this is what this is about. We can't have that. That's not a good look for you, baby. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. And I think this is another thing that irritates me about the music industry. I feel like the music industry ages, but I feel like it's hard for it to age. Like, it doesn't want to age. And like it's kind of painful to see, because I'm like, you know, Beyonce, you almost 40. Like, I don't think we should be rapping at this point. Let's not go backwards. Because she wasn't rapping when she started. Like, if Beyonce was rapping when she started, then that would make sense to me. But she wasn't. So I was like, don't try to cater to the youngins. I don't want you to cater to the youngins. I don't like it. And so now, with her catering to the youngins, she's stuck in a battle. Well, she's not stuck in a battle, but this could be a battle of lyrics. This could be a shot. This could be shots fired. Like I said, is Beyonce going to respond to this? Hell no. Like, she's on a different type of wavelength. Like, she got her billion, she got Blue and everything, and the twins. And I'm really upset that people just call them the twins, because they do have names. But she out there on her yacht, like, she with Miss Tina, like, she out there, she ain't worried about this. But she technically, if this was a real rapper, this could be something. Like, if Remy Ma was on Savage and Nicki said this, oh no, I think we getting another record. Whereas this is just gonna get Nicki some marketing. But I think if this was an actual rapper, we would be in a battle. Because that's shots fired. If she really is talking to Beyonce, that's shots fired. You don't bring that shit back up. You just don't. You just don't bring it up. But it's funny, because we were talking about Savage, what it means. Like, because we know what it means in the terms of the culture, right? We know what it means in the culture. But what it actually means, and so my husband was asking, like, you know, because I was singing the song Savage or whatever, and I'm not the biggest fan of Savage, but it's a catchy song. Okay, so you're naturally gonna sing it. But when he was like, do you really want to be called a savage? And I was like, you know what? You kind of on to something. Because if you think about what a savage is usually referred to an animal. So, you know what I mean? Like, uncivilized, primitive, barbarian, barbaric, heathen. I'm like, I think we need to have a conversation with our kids to kind of like get everybody on the same wavelength. Because some of these words y'all be using, like, if you really knew what it meant, would you want somebody to refer? Because if somebody come up to you and say you are uncivilized, you could be like, oh no. But if they say you a savage, then you be like, yes, honey, yes, I'm a savage. And they're like, bitch, she's calling you the same shit. Like, I don't know if we gotta get these definitions and nouns under control. And I'm not necessarily saying that I'm gonna take my nouns from Meg the Stallion, because she does refer herself as a stallion, which is technically a male horse. So I'm not necessarily taking, my dictionaries from her, but I'm just saying, like, we need to check some of these words in the dictionary or the thesaurus or whatever you got, because we do need to make sure we know what they actually mean. Alright, let's get this party moving on. Let's move the bandwagon over, okay? So, I'm gonna talk about it. So, I waited a little while before I actually talked about Black as Fuck and Black AF on Netflix, which was created by Mr. Kenya Barris. If you don't know who he is, he's created a lot of great television shows that people probably watch. So, like Blackish, Grownish, Mixed-ish, anything that has ish behind it, he made it. And he also did things like Girlfriends and a couple of other shows back in the day. So he's been around for a minute, and he's known for creating black shows that give black people a light and a voice and all of that. So with that being said, shout out to Kenya Barris for giving black people jobs. Appreciate that, especially in Hollywood, and writing pretty decent ass scripts, right? Because sometimes you get, I ain't naming no names, but sometimes certain black people be writing stuff and it be a mess. And so I can appreciate Kenya for the appreciativeness of what he contributes to black culture, right? But on the same note, don't name a show Black as Fuck that's not black as fuck. Like, it confused people. And I think when people watched it, they expected to get something else. So if you ever, like, let's say you went to a restaurant or something, right? And you are sitting there and you're reading the menu and it starts talking about stuff where it's sweet. Like, let's say it got like on the menu, this is a cupcake, a brown sugar cinnamon cupcake. And you like, oh, I want that. And then once it comes to your table, you realize that it was meat. You know what I mean? Like, it's a meat cupcake and they got like brown, like, and listen, brown sugar on meat is not bad, especially if you having like barbecue or whatever, like ribs or something like that. So it's not necessarily nasty. It's just not what you was expecting, right? You was expecting something sweet. You ain't want savory. And I think that's kind of what happened with Black as Fuck. So the reason why I took some time, I didn't review this right away because I had to take some time to myself. Because I had turned it on. When it first popped up on Netflix, I said, oh, Black as Fuck. This is something black. I'm black. Let me watch it. And I watched it and I was like 10 minutes in and I was like, I don't know if this for me. So I'm gonna have to turn this off, but I appreciate you. Those are the kind of things that I was thinking when this had happened. When this went down, I was like, oh. The Rick Ross setting was like, oh, like, I don't know this for me. And so that's why I didn't review this, because if I would have reviewed this show back when I watched 10 minutes of it, I would have given this a really scathing review. Okay. And listen, Kenya don't give a shit about me and what I'm saying. Kenya don't even know me, but I just want you to listen, Kenya. This is for you. This is an open letter to Kenya Barris, if you can hear me. And another reason why I gave it a second shot, shout out to Kevin Hart and his podcast that he has. And the reason why I gave it a second shot is because I saw them on the LOL network or something like that, and they were talking about it, and all of them loved it. Everybody, well, I think it was 5 of them, and I think of the 5, 4 of them really loved it, and I think one of them was like, it's okay, but it's not my favorite. It's not bad, but it's not my favorite. And they compared it to like Curb Your Enthusiasm. If you don't know what that is, basically it's like a really dry humor type of show, like a Seinfeld type of humor. So if you're not that type of person, like that type of humor, this ain't for you. Trust me. But they were talking about it. And one of the things Kevin Hart mentioned was what I mentioned when I heard a lot of black bloggers going in on Kenya Barris for colorism. So basically they were saying that Kenya Barris tends to pick light-skinned women or biracial women to play as these main characters. Now, Kenya Barris is not the first. Like, we was getting this back in the 90s everywhere, like with My Wife and Kids and all this stuff. Like, we were getting this a lot with the mixed kids, black parents vibe back in the 90s and so forth. So he's not the first, but they were really going in on him. They were really saying that he was pushing his light skin agenda. Like, how you gonna name a show Black as Fuck when the woman is a white woman? Like, some people even thought Rashida Jones was a white woman. Now, Rashida Jones is very light. And if you squint at her so ever so lightly, she looks like a white woman. Okay, she looks like a white woman, and she is not. That is Quincy Jones's daughter. She got a black pappy. She is biracial. She is not white. But people thought she was white. So people were like really upset once they saw that it was Black as Fuck and he had a white wife. But what people didn't do is what Kevin Hart did, and well, Kevin Hart didn't have to do because he know Kenya, because Kevin is rich, okay? But I Googled it. So when I found out these shows were supposedly about his life, and this is before I watched the thing with Kevin Hart, I wanted to see what his family looked like, because people were going in on him. And I was like, well, if this is loosely based off of his life, and this looks like his family, what does his family look like? Now, if his family was looking like me and his wife was Rashida Jones, I would be like, this ain't right. Okay, like, you can't be doing that. Okay, but that's not necessarily. I would have been like, listen, you know what? Like, this is not gonna work, baby. Like, this, you can't be having a black woman like me, and then you replace me with a white woman like Fresh Prince did. Like, you can't be Fresh Prince and people out here. Don't be doing that. But his wife is biracial. That is what she looks like. Like, I mean, Rashida Jones don't look like his wife at all, but you get what I'm saying. Like, she's a biracial woman, and she looks biracial. Like, it's not like she kind of looks biracial, or she sort of looks biracial. She is biracial, and she looks every bit of it, right? So that's what his wife looks like. And his children all look more biracial than they do black. They just do. Like, you know, although they're technically more black than white because their mom's half black and their dad is black, they look like biracial kids. Like, they all have the curly flowing hair and everybody's light. That's what his children look like. That is what his children is. Okay. Now, they were saying that he made the show, Kevin Hart and him, he made the show for black people who are very wealthy, and that a lot of people missed out on this show because they were not listening to the real issues. Like, he was really trying to give you some really, really deep issues about white gays and all of that. And I think that people missed it because they were so stuck in the Black as Fuck vibe that they didn't listen to any of that. But what I will say is that if that is true, what Kevin said, that he made this for successful black people, he made this for 5 motherfucking people. Like, because the 1% of the world is small as it is, and for black people, it's real small. Like, it's like an efficiency apartment in New York. Like, it's real small. You could put all the black people in that 1% of the 1% in a fucking efficiency apartment. That's how few of them motherfuckers in there. Like, he made that shit for Oprah, Kanye West, Jay-Z, and Beyonce. Like, did you really just make a show for 4 motherfucking people? Like, that's who you made this for? Because the reason, like, we had shows back in the day. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was one of them, where they were kind of like wealthy. He had, what else did we have? We had A Different World. They had a couple people in there that were wealthy. Like, we've had wealthier families that we really was rocking with on television. And the reason why we rock with them is because they made them relatable to us, the regular people. So we felt like they were like us and we were like them, and you know, that it was an obtainable feat. Even when you look at other shows that are not black related, but it was like Dallas and all those shows where they were rich and grand, they made them like us. So then we were like, oh, they fight, they bicker, they were wealthy, but they still had issues that we could relate to. Like, somebody was getting cheated on, somebody was having money problems. Like, they made it relatable. On this show, Kenya, I could not relate to any of this. Like, this was just not a relatable show at all. Like, him with the white assistant and like, it just, and I get what he was saying, because we've all probably at some time or another tried to fit into a world that didn't look like us, and, you know, having to worry about what cultures think about us, and being the representative for the black race and trying to pretend like you're something that you're not to fit into their liking. All of us have done it at some point or time. We shouldn't have to, but we've all probably done it at one point or another. But I did not relate to this at all. Like, it just was like, oh, okay. Like, I don't understand this. This is not for me. He's not talking to me. And being black, and I was like, I'm black. I'm not black as fuck, but I'm black. This wasn't for me. And when you have that type of stuff, I'm like, Kenya. From a man named Kenya, I expected more. Like, he started talking about, like, Armenian drug dealers and all this stuff. None of this stuff made the connection was not there. Like, you had to squint to see the connection. And that's not how this should be. Like, and I didn't understand why he did it at all. Because I was like, he already did Blackish modeled after his own life. That's why he has the mixed wife in Blackish. So basically, you redid what you just did, but worse. Like, that, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I could not for the life of me. Because Anthony Anderson makes Kenya's life, which he, of course, is not exactly Kenya's life. It's a little different because I think on that show, Anthony Anderson is in marketing. Their house is not quite as huge and big. Like, it was a little bit more obtainable to real life, I guess. But he was funnier. So although he was supposed to be very wealthy or have money in Blackish, he was obtainable. Like, Anthony Anderson is funny. So then it was like, oh, this is funny. This is really, really funny. Like, I get it. And then I think that the way they did the issues in Blackish, because they had such a limited time slot with the commercials and stuff, they got to the point. Like, they drug out white gays for 3 fucking episodes. I was like, baby, listen. We don't need you to do that. If you need to talk about the same shit for 3 episodes, you gonna lose us, okay? So to me, it just wasn't relatable. Now, will I say that he's a colorist? I can't say that because, like I said, that's his life. That's his life. That's his wife. Those are his kids. I can't say that. But what I will say is, Kenya, can you make a show that doesn't have those characters in it? Like, people are saying that I want to see a black as fuck show. Can you make a black as fuck show to show true black issues in a way that would identify with the average black person? Can we get that? Wealthy people is probably not going to bode well with most black people because it's not identifiable. So you have to be able to make it identifiable. Do I think that there are some issues that they could go after? I think they do hit on, because I didn't watch all of them, but I think I watched like 4 episodes. I think eventually they do go into the fact that the wife is biracial. I think they do that. But I think the issue also stands when you have somebody who looks like Rashida Jones, is that they were making everything like, yeah, racism. And I'm like, I don't know if that's valid for Rashida, because she don't really, like, Rashida Jones looks white. So for people to really treat her with racism would be very hard to believe. And I think that's another reason why people was like, I don't know, there's a disconnect somewhere. Like, I get that they do tackle the fact that she's biracial and she's white passing in the show, which I didn't get to the episode yet, but I heard somebody say that they do talk about it. But I don't think they must not have talked about it in a way that made sense. And because she is biracial and white passing, I think that they probably should have put that in the first couple episodes, because, like, a lot of people, you're going to lose a lot of people on the first episode. So I was like, you might as well put it in the first or second episode so that at least you could have explained, okay, we got you. I know that we saying black as fuck, but it's really beige as fuck. Like, we know, this is why we making this distinction early. And that's all I probably would have did. But yeah, y'all leave Kenya alone. This is just what his family looks like. Like I said, I can't say that he's a colorism or he colorist or he has an agenda. All I know is that that's his family, and he probably should have reworded the title. That's it. That's all I got. It was a post that came out, and it was talking about millennials being like really young and being like naive or whatever. I'm like, stop using millennials when we are not all young. It's like, oh, millennials, they complaining because they won't get a graduation or whatever. And I'm like, listen, first of all, I think that's fucked up. Like, I think for the kids to not have a graduation is fucked up. It's messed up. But first, one, they're not millennials. None of them are. Like, most of the kids that are probably graduating from college aren't even millennials. They're Generation Z. But it is fucked up nonetheless. And I think that, just kind of sidebar to a sidebar, I think something should be done. I think LeBron James is doing like a virtual graduation today, I think. Or sometime in early May. He's doing... And I think more people should do that. I was thinking that. I was like, I think more like celebrities and even the schools should do like a virtual graduation. And I know that a lot of them are doing little things here and there, but I don't know if they're doing like, because on Zoom, can't you have like 1 million people on there or some shit like that? Like, get a paid subscription to Zoom. Or like, I know here in Maryland, I think they have a contract with Google or whatever. Like, ask Google how many people can be on there, and they should give the kids something so that they don't feel like they missed out. That part, I think, is really like, you go through school and you don't get your roses. Because I know a lot of people are saying like, we did all this work and it was for nothing. And I'm like, first of all, it's not. If you leave school with a diploma, that's what you came for. You didn't come to get people to clap for you for 5 seconds and that's it. Because most of this stuff you won't remember. You're not gonna remember any of the things that happen necessarily on graduation day unless something really bad happens. You'll just know that you graduated and you'll have the pictures. I think they should do something virtually where people can still get their pictures, like their senior pictures, like, you know, with them with the cap and gown. Maybe if they have the cap and gown, do something virtually where the kids can get like a green screen or something, or have somebody go out and take pictures of them. Because that's really what they want. At the end of the day, that's what they want. Because prom is nothing but a big ass party. I know a lot of people were upset about that, but prom is a big ass party. Like, if you go to a club or a wedding, like, it's prom. And most people, proms is like shitty. I know mine. I mean, I guess I can't speak for everybody, but my experience at prom was shitty as fuck. Like, it was not good. You know what I mean? So I think that you kind of got to keep that in mind, that prom, it's the experience. Like, I get it. I can't say to tell somebody that you can't be mad about not getting prom because I got to go to mine. But I will say that it's just an experience, and you will have that experience. Trust me, you will have that experience where you can wear the dress that you ain't never gonna wear no more, that your mother done paid way too much money for. You will get your chance to wear that shiny ass dress and that big tacky ass tuxedo that when you look back at this was like, what the fuck was I wearing? So if you want that what the fuck was I wearing picture to have on your wall, it's coming. Trust me, it is. Trust it is. Alright, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about this and then I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm not gonna stay on here too long. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about it and then I'm gonna go. So, should we open or shouldn't we open the country back up? And at this point in because you know me, I'm the type of person that say, well, in the beginning, I was like, let's do what we need to do so this virus will go away. So if they say stay the hell home to protect other people, I'm staying the hell home so that you protect other people. Like, I'm not going to go out and try to be around a bunch of people in order to get me sick or my family member sick or somebody else sick, because I don't know if I'm asymptomatic and I don't want to be the person that is responsible. But at the same time, you see like the lady in California who opened up the restaurant against the state orders. You have people opening up strip clubs. I saw that against the state order, and the damn drive-through strip club. Like, why? It ain't enough stripping in the world. Like, why do you need a drive-through strip club? Like, I don't even know how that works. Like, how do you set that shit up? Like, how do you set, like, how does that work? Like, is it a chain, like a zoo, where you go around like a whole like route and see different strippers in different areas? Like, this is the cinnamon containment over here, and this is the money girl containment over here. And I'm like, I don't know how How that work? Like, I don't even know why you would need to do that. But regardless, people are just, they kind of going against the order anyway. You're seeing more and more people, because Americans don't fucking listen. Like, I don't know what what the government thought was going to happen, but I was like, we live in America. Americans don't listen to shit. Like, you can tell, like, we have to have things on items that we should not have to have things on, so that Americans know not to hurt themselves. Like, that dumb shit. Like, if you ever gone to get coffee from McDonald's, the shit now says, caution, this is hot. Because some dumbass motherfucker didn't realize that shit was hot. Like, we have to put disclaimers on obvious shit. Like, we are out here telling people don't eat bleach. Like, what government? Listen. Even though that did come from a government official to eat the bleach. But that's neither here nor there. But what did you expect? What really did y'all expect? And how long did you think this shit was gonna last before people were gonna just start doing what they want to do? This is why I'm on the fence. I believe that we should keep it closed. My personal opinion is keep it closed until they have a plan, a strategy of how to not get people sick. Because I've heard way too many people say, I don't mind getting it because I'm young or I'm healthy, and if I get it, it's not going to be that bad. The issue is you don't know what the fuck's going to happen to you until the virus is in your system. And then you will know how your body will take it. Until that happens, you don't know. If you get it, you might be fine, or you could get it and you could get really, really sick. Even if you live, from what I've heard, the people that live through this, it's not fun. It's not something where it's just like, oh, I gotta get it. Like, y'all gotta use some common sense. You gotta use some common sense. But the reason why I'm saying that I'm on the fence is because, are you really gonna be able to keep these people home? Is it gonna matter if business owners just start opening up stores and stuff? What are we gonna do? You gonna arrest everybody? Like, how? I think we did not do a very good job as a nation for kind of like preparing for what was going to happen. And we see the breakdown. And I think a lot of people get mad at the shutdown, but they don't get mad at the issues. Like, this pandemic basically just showcased what was wrong in America. And instead of y'all trying to find ways to fix that, y'all are mad because you can't go to Kohl's. Like, those are the types of things that just don't make sense to me. We've got to use more common sense. If you know that you are living paycheck to paycheck and you cannot afford to be sick or stay home and you don't have health insurance, the issue is not get mad necessarily at the fact that you cannot go outside and go do a half court with your friends. The issue is you don't make enough money and you don't have affordable health care. That's your issue. We need to start to pay attention to that. Y'all anger all them guys over there and women over there with the guns standing in the state houses and stuff like that. We need to raise the minimum wage and make sure that everybody has access to universal health care and not going broke over that. I'm waiting. Where is your energy to help fix that? Where is that at? If you're upset that it's going to take so long for you to get a vaccine or something like this could even happen, we needed to be prepared. There should have been a pandemic response team that is not there. We need to put more money in science. That is an issue. Why are we not talking about that? Americans, we only see what's in front of us. And if we don't look past that, what's in front of us, it's like you can just dangle a carrot and we look at somewhere else. Like, it's too easy. We make this shit too easy. And we gotta stop. You cannot get distracted because of things that are going on. You've really got to be able to make sure that you do the right, you know where the right issues are to channel your action to. Standing in the courtyard of your state house ain't it, baby. It ain't it, boo-boo. Your issue is that you need to get paid more. You need to be compensated more. You need to have sick leave in order to do that. And you need to make sure that you have protections in place that if something does happen, it does not completely derail your livelihood. Those are the things that you need to be talking about. Those are your issues. Just saying. Well, this has been another episode of Millennials Anonymous podcast, and I am super excited. I think you're going to be excited as well, because we have a guest coming up next week. I gotta confirm it. I have not done that yet, but I'm gonna confirm it. You're gonna be really excited about the guest we're having, and we're gonna have a really good time. It is a comedian, but I'm gonna keep it to myself until everything is confirmed. Okay, when I have a picture and an image to put out there, I will certainly do that. So I'm excited about that, because they are actually coming to Millennials. They're not going to brunch, they're coming to Millennials. They're coming to moi, and so I'm excited about that as well. And stay tuned for brunching, because we got another guest that's supposed to be coming over there too, which y'all are going to love. So I'm gonna keep it secret till I get a confirmation, and we have all of that stuff in the bag. But make sure that you tune in to Millennials Anonymous. If you're not sure where we air, make sure you go to our website, which is just www.millennials.us. That way you'll know exactly all the places that we go live. You'll know all the platforms that we're on, so that you can tune in. Shout out to WPIR 98.4 FM for rocking and rolling with us. Like I said, we're supposed to be on WRDR, but I have no idea when we air. I don't know when we air. I don't know. I don't have a date yet. So I guess maybe I need to do a better job of that. Yeah, that's me. That's my bad. Okay, that's my bad. I'm gonna get that information to y'all, so y'all have it. That's on me. That's my job. Okay, let me make sure I get that information. But we're on. Until then, you can still listen to us on iHeartRadio. You can listen to us on radio.com. You can listen to us on iTunes, Google, Spotify, Anchor, all of that. So whatever you prefer, you can do that. But we got a lot of bangers coming up, a lot of great interviews coming up. And if there's something that you think that we should be talking about, and I say this every couple weeks, that we're not, I need for you to let us know. So if you're like, okay, you be talking about millennials issues, but you missing this, reach out. So if you can go to the website, you can just fill out the form at the bottom, and it will come straight to me. Well, it won't come straight to me, but you get my point. There's an intersection, but you got you. But it'll come to me. And I can also give you my email, but most of y'all, you're not going to write it down, because people mispronounce my name all day long. I've been called Lisis. I've been called Lessis. I've been called Leasty. I've been called all kind of stuff. So I know even if I give it to you, you're probably going to spell it wrong. You know what I mean? So just go to the website. The best way for you to reach me is to go to www.millennials.us. Again, stay tuned for all the things that we have coming up here on Millennials and Brunchin', and we're going to have a giveaway. So we're supposed to have a question of the day, so you need to follow us on Facebook and on Instagram, so that you can know what the question of the day is, so that you can win a free shirt from Millennials Anonymous or from Brunching Podcast, either one. Or a Miss Cannabis Nurse Solutions, Ashley, will be donating a shirt as well for Brunchins for this question of the day. So if you want to win a shirt or some prizes, please make sure that you tune in to Brunchin'. And then you also like and subscribe to us on all major podcasting platforms, so that you can see what's going on at Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. All right. So I appreciate you rocking with us. Listen, stay safe. And I know some of you cannot, because you're essential workers. And my heart goes out to all the essential workers. Rock it. Keep rocking it. My heart goes out to everybody. The custodians, the hospital workers, everybody. Grocery store clerks, everybody. So I need you guys to stay as safe as possible. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for listening. We absolutely appreciate everything that you guys do. So this has been another episode of Millennials Anonymous. Peace.